What's up everyone, it's Waste. I don't have an official video for you this week because my kiddos were sick, but I thought I'd post some gameplay I recorded and maybe just talk over it. So this is going to be kind of a free-form video, but today we're playing Kroxa, Titans of Abyss Hunger, and we're using a lot of discard spells to make our opponents discard stuff like Bandit's Talent here, so that we can gain value from the cards we put into our graveyard to bring Kroxa back, while taking away the opponent's resources. And then we have a lot of removal like Angrath Rampage, Meathook Massacre, the Celestus to gain life, draw and discard, Lily on the Veil make us both discard, also make them sack a creature. Kolaghan's Command is really versatile, takes out artifacts, deals damage to stuff, makes the opponent discard. Sire of Insanity is so good in this deck, I love this card, it's one of my favorite creatures of all time. So yeah, that's essentially the deck, make the opponent discard, gain value from their discard, and have a way to bring Kroxa back and attack them, hopefully with haste, but just keep hitting them with the 6/6 that makes them discard. So let's hop into some games and see if we can get some wins. Alright, we have to go first. We're playing against an Izzet deck, looks like Brawl, which I forget exactly what that commander does, but Izzet is kind of a spell-slinging color. Okay, here we go. Raw, it's a planeswalker. Creates prowess tokens. Okay. And then they get to draw cards on the -3. The Molten Collapse gives us planeswalker removal. I think that's why I keep this hand. I'm probably just gonna go get a Surveil land here. Surveilling is really good in this deck because not only does it let us look at the top card of our library, but it allows us to put stuff in the graveyard, which again, this deck just wants to put stuff in the graveyard so we have a way to bring Kroxa back. Ireland, Stormchaser's Challenge. Okay. They make a Prowess Otter. I think I'm just going to kill the Otter here, because even though it's a 1/1, since it has prowess and playing against a presumably spell slinger deck, it could be a problem over time, do a lot of damage to us. So I'd probably go Lightning Bolt and then Hopeless Nightmare, just to start the discard process. I could go Kroxa, but I think it's better to get rid of their threat and make them discard. Harmonic Prodigy. Believes that like doubles the ability of wizards or something like that. It's a strong card in the right deck. So here we go with Kroxa, make them discard. And then I think we'll probably just Fatal Push the Prodigy. This is a weird deck where you actually have to decline your commander going back to the command zone because we want it in the graveyard. I've gotten a lot better about hitting decline, but when I first started playing this deck, I'd always, you know, put it back in the command zone and then be like, oh no, I want it in the graveyard. Another thing that makes the makes the deck fun, I should say, is that it operates differently like that. Like you want your commander in the graveyard. Kind of unique. Okay, get down to 3/3. Allow us to start eating at their graveyard. Take away that Galvanic iteration so they can't reuse it. Yeah, so like I said, this is a spell slinger deck, so all their stuff is going to revolve around getting value from slinging spells. Yep, attack makes sense. They can block if they want, but they don't have good blocks. Gain some life, drain them. They take the beat. down the tap land while we have an opportunity. And then we can pop the Hopeless Nightmare on their end step or something like that. Put something else in the graveyard. I'm not sure where we're at graveyard-wise, but we need 5 other cards in the graveyard besides Kroxa to escape it, bring it back. We get to scry 2 here. Corrupted Conviction is for when we play Kroxa out of the command zone. We can do a little trick and sacrifice it before the trigger resolves, draw some cards. So we bottom that, take Liliana. The Graveyard Glutton is flipped, so it is a 4/4 now. It's definitely a clock. I think we're just going to -2 here. Oh, no we're not. Okay, mana drain. Hold on to that Planeswalker removal spell, last card in our hand. This is a pretty good turn from them. They mana drained us, they got down their commander, made another Prowess Otter, brought back the mana drain to their hand, but they're tapped out. So this is our opportunity to do something before we get shut out of the game. Let's see what we do. I think we're just going to Kroxa and Molten Collapse. Oh yeah, we attack first to make them block. We submit 0. We don't want to exile our own stuff. We need that for Kroxa. So they take the bait, they block. They don't know that we have Planeswalker removal in our hand. Careful tapping, make sure we have Kroxa mana. Destroy the Planeswalker. Just be an extra sure, choose the right mode. I am known for clicking the wrong mode.
I need to workshop a new theory.
Okay, and then Kroxa them. You want to discard that mana drain? Nope. Alright. I think we hold on to the removal spell. No, that's what we like to see. Just pass straight through the turn. Go Blank is actually kind of funny, because they'd have to mana drain it. But we're going to force them to discard first. Remember, the trigger happens every time Kroxa attacks as well. We'll eat their Consider. So we know the last spell in their hand is Mana Drain. They're down to 2, which means next turn, if we attack our Kroxa and they don't have something to discard... Oh, never mind. We just killed him right here. I forgot about that land. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Alright, we get to go first. We're playing against Shauna, which is like a Bant life gain commander. They get to draw cards equal to the amount of life they gained that turn. They have to pay mana for each card they draw, but it's still very good in a life gain deck. Mishra Bauble is really good in this deck. Mishra's Bauble, I should say. Because it's a free card draw spell, essentially, but it also puts something in our graveyard. That's why we're running so many fetch lands and things like that, because like the Polluted Delta here, like it gets us it obviously fixes our mana, but it also puts a card in the graveyard. So that's what we're trying to do. Like I said, we're just trying to fill our graveyard, get Kroxa down, start eating away at their hand, taking away their resources. hitting them with the 6/6. Couple good cards in there. We know the Luminarch Veteran is going to gain them a bunch of life, but it is a creature. We have lots of creature removal. The Swiftfoot Boots is annoying, but we do have artifact removal, so I think we take the Get Lost there because we just don't want them removing our Kroxa. Okay, Black Market Connections, super value engine. Get it down while we're under little pressure. We're only facing down a 1/2. It's a very good 1/2, but it's still just a 1/2. Get Authority of the Consoles down. Doesn't really affect us too much. We don't have a ton of creatures coming to play, and you know, it does turn off our haste strategy, but it's not a big deal for our deck. Geier Sanitarium, super good in the deck, forces the opponent to discard. If we have it down with Waste Not, it's incredibly good. I discard 2 cards. Probably the we want to keep the removal, so probably, yeah, the Takenuma and maybe the MDFC, since it's a tap land. Although we might keep it because it's another red source. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we get rid of here. Maybe a Bazooka Bog, since it's not a graveyard deck. Alright, yeah, we get rid of the MDFC. We do technically have colored mana coming every turn from the black market, so maybe that's why I did that. We're making a treasure every turn, so we don't really need the MDFC to color fix. Plus it's a tap land, so maybe I just felt like it was too slow. Get rid of the Get Lost. They gain life from Authority. I have the Damnation in hand, so if their board gets out of control, I'm ready to pop it off. I don't care if I kill my own creature. It's a big tempo swing in my favor if I 3-for-1 them by, you know, casting the Wrath. So they get the ability, but they have no mana to spend, so they don't get to draw any cards. I gotta be careful with my life total now, too, because we're at 11 down to 8. So I know I'm going to blow up the board, so I'm attacking with the Graveyard Trespasser just to get in the damage and the value. I could also Kroxa them, get them down to 1 card after I do this, but I might keep the treasures. I'm not 100% sure. I might keep the treasures and hold up, go for the throat. You know, just in case they draw a land and they want to replay their commander. I think I might Bazooka Bog them, yeah. Just to get rid of that Luminarch Veteran from coming back. Okay. So I had options there, but I think I went with a good path. Holding up mana just for go for the throat. We're not worried about Birds of Paradise at this point in the game. And we have Kolaghan's Command for the Swiftfoot Boots. So whenever we have the mana, we can get rid of that instant speed. We know that they want to put the Swiftfoot Boots on their commander. That's the whole point of it being in the deck. Black Market Connections is not a May ability. You have to click one of the modes, so we're clicking the treasure mode since it's only 1 life. Get Kroxa down, make him go down to 0 cards in hand. And then I think we're going to hold up mana here. Decline, keep it in the graveyard. Oh, cool. Yeah, so we have enough mana to bring back Kroxa and hold up Kolaghan's Command. So that's what we're doing here. They gain some life, then they're going to lose some life. Yeah, we know what they have no cards in hand, so we know that their play next turn is basically limited to whatever they draw or playing their commander and putting the boots on it. And it looks like that's what they're going to do, because they drew a tap land. And then right here, we have a moment to get rid of it. And that's it for the opponent, GG. Alright, opponent goes first. We're playing against Jadar, which is a mono-black zombie commander, but it's essentially just using the zombie for value or as an ETB trigger. Most of the time when you play Jadar, opponents are trying to, you know, maybe attack you with that zombie, but they're really trying to use it to like sack it, to draw cards, you know, have it come into the battlefield since it does that every turn and gain value off the ETB trigger. Maybe some aristocrat strategies where, like, when a creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses a life, stuff like that. And then they surround all that with their removal suite because they're in mono black. So a tough matchup for us because we really don't want Kroxa to die, so we have to get the discard going. We really need them to be, like, out of resources in order to win this game. So honestly, I could take any of these cards. They're all good for different reasons. But I think I take the Grim Tutor here because it can represent any card in their deck. And so if we do get them down to a small amount of cards in their hand, they can go get the Grim Tutor to get out of the pinch that we put them in, right? You know, maybe they have some mass card draw spell or black market connections. Like, they can go get it with the Grim Tutor. And then, like, all the work we did to strip away the resources gets undone. So that's why I felt like I had to take that early on. Get rid of their commander, just stop the value train from cascading out of control. Play Undead Augur. Basically lets them draw cards when a creature dies, or I think a zombie dies, something like that. But basically every time their decayed zombie goes away, they get to draw a card. So like I said, they're using the decayed zombie for value. Okay, Dragon Rage Chandler. I think I'm gonna, yeah, cast Despise, get a Surveil trigger, so like try to maximize my value. I think we keep the Fatal Push even though we really need lands, but can't pass up a Fatal Push. It's another removal spell for their commander or this Undead Augur. We played Jadar, surprise, surprise. No blocks. DRC is too valuable for us to block with it. We need lands. I would love to keep the black market, but right now we need lands. We can't win this game on 2 mana. DRC, we have 4 cards. I think that's Delirium, right? It's either 4 cards in the graveyard or Delirium or something, but it gets turned on there, so now it's a flying 3/1 that has to attack. Sack their zombie, draw a card. Draw a card from the trigger from sacrificing it. Doomblade my DRC. It's technically a land, not the land we were hoping for, but it is a land. Maybe get down the Waste Knot. Next turn we can Kroxa and Village Rites. We are playing mono black, so they don't have a lot of ways of getting rid of enchantments, so the Waste Knot's pretty safe on the battlefield. Tithe Extractor, it's a newer card. I'm not exactly, don't remember exactly what it does, but I think it gains like free value off them attacking us, something like that. Looks like they get to steal a spell, kind of like a Gaunty-esque card. I think we need to put full control on here. Let's see if I remember to do that. Yeah, there we go. So with Kroxa, you can do full control, cast Kroxa out of the command zone, let it resolve, let the first trigger resolve, and then on the escape trigger, you can sacrifice it to a spell like Village Rites to draw some cards. Because it's going to die anyway. Might as well draw some cards while it's on the battlefield. Okay, then we Village Rites right here. Sack the Kroxa, which again is going to die anyway. Decline, and then we get to draw 2 cards. So, sneaky little trick you can do, but you have to be in full control. If you're not in full control, Arena will skip right through those 2 triggers and you won't have an opportunity to cast Village Rites. Whoa, Terror Grid. Okay. Block. Don't want them stealing our cards. Sire of Insanity's nice, but we don't have the mana for it yet. We gotta get rid of that Terror Grid, though. We gotta get rid of it before we crack the Wooded Foothills, otherwise we give them a free fetch land. Now we can crack it. I should have gotten the Surveil here. In my brain, I thought I had a black source, so I was going to keep up the removal spell in my hand, Heartless Act, but I didn't realize I had a colorless land down, so mistake by me. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to use the removal spell anyway since the Surveil land is tapped, but we will at least would have gotten value off the Surveil land. Raven Man, okay. Oh, Languish is such a good draw here. Gets rid of their whole board. Too bad I don't have like one more black mana or something so we could look in their hand too, but it is what it is. They have 0 cards in hand. Those 3 cards are cards they've exiled from our library. So if we draw a untapped land, we can they're giving us mana, but I don't think I have anything to do with it. If we draw an untapped land, we can get down Sire of Insanity, which goes insane with Waste Knot. Beseech the Mirror. Okay, they can go get any 4-mana spell. I think they get a 1 ring or something like that. I think they can technically get it 4 or less, but normally people get a 4-mana spell because they get a Sheoldred or a 1 ring. Necropotent's kind of the same vibe. They went and got their mass card draw effect. So this is actually playing perfectly into our Sire of Insanity. We just need to draw an untapped land. But they're going to draw a bunch of cards here, and then basically go to their end step. Well, they have to go to their end step first to get the trigger to draw the cards, right? But it plays perfectly into our Sire because they'll have a bunch of cards in hand and no mana to really do anything with any of them. Because they're tapped out now. And then we're going to make them discard their whole entire hand of now 7 cards and get a ton of value off Waste Not. But we gotta draw that untapped land. Let's see if we can do it. Not quite. Let's, I think we only have enough mana to kill their Gaunty and then, Dreadfog them for 1. Oh, we can't even kill it because it has a counter on it. Bummer. Heartless Act, is a great card, but when it's bad, it's bad. Get down Kroxa, I guess. Not really sure why I did that instead of just looking through their hand. I think it probably would have been better to look through their hand, but technically we're making them discard here, except Dreadfog would have allowed us to choose whatever we wanted and make them discard it. But I guess we're low on life, so maybe I was thinking, you know, we can get a 6/6 down. And it worked out because they ended up discarding land, which gave us mana. We do have the opportunity to add a Field of Ruin here, get rid of this tomb, so they can't keep getting value out of their graveyard. It's a good play. It's not really how we lined it up, you know, but it ended up working out. And then now we have the untapped mana to do the Dreadfog. Yeah, we definitely didn't plan that, but it sort of just, you know, rolled into that, which is cool. So, we know they have a removal spell, but it takes a lot of mana to cast that Meathook Massacre. So I think what we're hoping is if we take, you know, the Orcish Bowmasters, they'll have a removal spell still in their hand, but we'll force them to use all their mana, kill their own Gaunty if they want to get rid of the 6/6. And then we can just cast Sire of Insanity. There's the Polluted Delta right there. So we'll have the mana next turn. We just gotta essentially get through this turn. And there you go. So they cast Meathook Massacre for 8. Decline. Keep it in the graveyard. And then we kind of know their hands, so they don't have the instant speed removal or anything like that. At least right now. Of course, they're going to go down a bunch of life here, draw a bunch of cards, but that plays right into our Sire of Insanity, so they better hope they draw some instant speed removal. Alright, it doesn't really matter which one. We have the mana either way. Just needs to be untapped. Play the Sire. Stick. Oh, nope, no response. Right to end step. We each discard our hands. Look at all them triggers. Yeah, if I was a meaner player, I would emote them into the ground right now, but I'm not going to do it. There's no reason to be a dick. Look at all this value. And remember, at the end of each turn, we each discard our hands, so we basically shut down their Necropotence. They can't draw cards with it anymore. Yeah. GG. I love Sire of Insanity. It's like my favorite creature. Alright, well thanks for watching, really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one later. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.